Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Hello, good Sunday evening, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into the Q2 Weekend News. I'm Dustin Klemann. More winter as we inch closer to spring. That snow accumulation creating severe driving conditions around the area tonight. More slide-offs and crashes. Montana Highway Patrol reporting 310 incidents in the last 3 days alone. Poor conditions exist on U.S. Highway 87 and Highway 212 to Red Lodge. You can receive the very latest by downloading the Q2 Storm Tracker weather app for free in the App Store on your smart device. But you don't have to do that now. Check in Brett McCrummer, where we've racked up some healthy precipitation.
Yes, we have, and the precipitation continues to fall across the area. And like you said, we showed you the pictures, the driving concerns across the area. Let's go ahead and take a look at our high-resolution forecast and show you that things are going to get better as we take this into our Monday. We're going to see the snow showers end from west to east as low pressure continues to push off into the Dakotas, taking the bulk of the moisture with it by tomorrow night. But as you look at the blue arrows, we have some very gusty northwest winds, especially into southwestern Montana. That is creating blowing and drifting snow and some extremely hazardous driving conditions, even some road closures in portions of southeastern Montana. So you're going to want to make sure to check the road reports before you try to travel. As we take a look at what's happening as far as our radar goes, snow showers around the Billings area extending up into northeastern Montana, and that will continue throughout tonight. But like I said, things will end west to east as we go through this evening and into tomorrow. We'll have your complete forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Brett, thank you very much. And just a reminder for folks to check into Montana this morning with Ed and Victoria for the very latest before you head out the door. To Billings News, a woman was found dead outside a downtown business Saturday morning. Police said the 48-year-old woman's death does not appear suspicious. The press release from BPD says she was drinking with other transients throughout the night, citing alcohol and cold weather as factors. She has not yet been identified. The incident is still under investigation tonight. To court news, a Fort Peck tribal officer has indicated he will plead guilty next week to burglarizing the Fort Peck Tribal Law and Justice Building. 33-year-old Michael Shields is charged in U.S. District Court in Great Falls with 4 counts of burglary. As part of a plea agreement, Shields will only plead guilty to a single count. According to court documents, Shields went into the Poplar facility unlawfully with the intent to commit theft on 4 occasions in September 2017. Documents do not state what items Shields intended to steal or why. It's also unclear whether any criminal cases were affected by Shields' actions. He graduated from the Montana Law Enforcement Academy in 2013, but tonight it's unclear if he is still employed as an officer of the law. To national news, President Donald Trump received a call from Britain's Prime Minister today in response to his plan to tax steel and aluminum imports. The so-called trade war the president is threatening was also debated on political shows. CBS News' Laura Podesta wraps up the discussion.
British Prime Minister Theresa May telephoned President Trump Sunday to reportedly express deep concern about Mr. Trump's threat to tax European-made cars. That call came after the European Union said it would increase taxes on American-made products if the U.S. moves forward with its plan to tax steel and aluminum imports.
This will cause huge damage across broad sectors of the economy.
On Sunday morning news shows, business leaders and politicians expressed dismay over the impending trade war.
China wins when we fight with Europe. China wins when the American consumer has higher prices because of tariffs that don't affect Chinese behavior.
President Trump tweeted that he's imposing tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to protect the American worker and the steel industry. But a senator from Maine says his constituents depend on foreign steel from Canada.
In the last 24 hours, I've heard from 2 small companies in Maine that use steel. One of them has already seen about an 8% increase in the price that they're going to be charged for the steel that they use to fabricate things.
The Commerce Department has been credited with creating the tariff plan after a thorough review.
So with the whole year of preparation, I don't know why anybody should have been so shocked.
Secretary Wilbur Ross added that the American people should take the president at his word, that these tariffs were a campaign promise and that the president has proven so far that he intends to keep those promises. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
In other news today, also the closed-door meeting remarks that was recorded and obtained by CNN Trump praised China's president for recently consolidating power and extending his potential tenure, musing he wouldn't mind making such a maneuver himself, saying, quote, maybe we'll have to give that a shot someday. Back here in Billings, it was excitement at the Yellowstone Art Museum's 50th annual art auction. Peaked Saturday when a bitter bidding war broke out between two people over a Picasso print valued at $89,000, and they got a steal. Picasso print, which is one of only 2 or 3 in the world, sold for $62,000. The sale is a 100% donation to the YAM. The piece, known as El Greco, has never before been framed or hung for public viewing. Artwork from all 130 artists locally and nationally was up for bid. The second highest sale was a painting done by Kevin Red Star, a member of the Crow tribe, which went for over $12,000. A little more than a year after closing and then reopening, the leaders of a private school in Billings say it is now thriving. Fortis Academy, along with the Elation Company, held a fundraiser last night. Fortis closed its doors December of last year, and within a week, it's put together a financial plan and reopened it.
Fortis is doing really, really well. We're very excited. We have a lot of interest in the community and having an alternative type of education here in Billings. I think it says a lot about classical education, providing that style of education for children to allow them to learn to think.
What I like about Fortis, in addition to the classical education, it gives another alternative to us here in Billings. This is a great success. Every day passes is a success, and we celebrate it.
The Fortis board hopes to eventually have a high school. All the money raised last night goes to the Fortis Academy Scholarship Fund as well. Sticking with education news, the Office of Public Instruction holding the 12th annual Indian Education for All Conference in Helena at Carroll College. The entire conference is expecting 200 people, and attendees range from K through 12 educators, museum educators, and the Montana Audubon Society, as well as more. The goal of the conference is to get people excited about integrating Indian education in classrooms, gaining Indian ed connections, and to learn about the unique cultural heritages of all Montana's tribes. Now, today's conference sessions were broken out into 3-hour-long mini institutes of science, English, language arts, and social studies, as well as Indian education. And Jennifer Stadum, an Indian education specialist for the Office of Public Instruction, said that she was excited for educators to gain a new insight on education.
We're really excited about sharing this knowledge with teachers and getting them excited and getting them to see that culturally relevant teaching isn't something that, it's not an obstacle. It's a wonderful challenge where, both the teacher can learn about tribally specific cultures.
Monday, the discussion continues. It will be about general Indian education studies. Back here in Billings, this is the time of the year to plan a remodeling project before the contractors get too busy. It's the advice of the promoter of the Spring Home Improvement Show. The 3-day show ended today. It's the biggest in 35 years, 750 booths, 650 in the Expo Center in Montana Pavilion, and even despite the cold, 100 outside. There's more than projects and other products for homes. The show provides a lot of chance to meet potential contractors who could work for you.
That's one of the big keys out here at the home show is you can go eyeball to eyeball like we're doing, and you can get a good feel whether you like that person or not. And if you do, there's a good chance things are going to turn out really well. Now is the time to plant those seeds, talk with these people, get them on their schedule so that you can get that work done yet, either this spring or this summer.
You didn't have to just pick this weekend. Hadeen says many people end up making their selections of contractors and buying products even after the show. To medical news now, a new approach for treating teenage depression. Some good news about the flu season. Nikki Petit says some of the week's top health stories.
Health officials say the worst of the flu season is behind us, but 17 more pediatric deaths were reported this week, bringing the number of child deaths this season to 114. Flu season peaked in early February, but has been steadily declining ever since. For the first time in 10 years, the American Academy of Pediatrics has updated medical guidelines for treating adolescent depression. The new recommendations include depression screening for children ages 12 and older, and they suggest including family members in a teenager's mental health treatment. As many as 1 in 5 adolescents experience depression. And researchers from the Stanford University School of Medicine looking at low-fat and low-carb diets can't say if one is better than the other. The study found both have the potential to trim the same amount of weight, while genetics and insulin levels may tip the scale when it comes to dieting. The Those are some of the week's top medical stories. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
Still ahead on your Sunday edition of the Q2 530 News, personalizing the path for Montana outdoors. A Montana FWP is making a big step online to connect you to Montana's wildlife. We'll have that story next. And later in sports, we take a special look inside a weekend Hardin fans won't soon forget. Tribute to the Bulldogs' first state title in 21 years. Coming up.